So I'm pretty sure some pretty big things are going to emerge, as they always do. The story you're overthinking. It's the bird. Yeah, it very well might be the bird. You know, maybe the bird just learned how to use a 22, just swooped in 3 meters away. According to the autopsy, that's where the gun was fired. Uh, Unloaded a pistol into him and just flew off. You know, maybe it's just that simple. Everything just points to the bird. How you doing, Salty? The bird got tired of us shooting the bird and decided to shoot back. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get back into this. And whoever joins, I guess, joins, because we are now at about 15 minutes into the hour. I'm doing good, Salty. I was just saying how I had a headache, but hopefully it has subsided long enough to finish this case, because I do think this is the last part of this case where we find out what actually happened. All right, court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Look at this freaking douchebag. Very well, apparently the prosecution is also ready. I think that's a fair assumption. He doesn't seem to particularly like talking very much. Who is the judge here anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Does he's about to lay down a bomb. He's about to drop a bomb. Very well, no opening statements, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Here comes the finger point. Well, okay, sorry. Not a finger point, his snap that he does. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Oh, he's definitely gonna drop some kind of bomb. He's definitely got something. He thinks he has it all in the bag. Order! Order! We just started! Can't be dropping those bombs this early. Honestly, this whole case has been, every time I've been in the courtroom, it's been tense every single time we've started the beginning of the court session. Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah, must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness, to the stand. It's that mysterious boat shop owner. Oh yeah, I have Nightbot now. Yay! I forgot to mention that. I actually was just reminded as well. So yeah, now he's gonna just start spamming the chat and annoying everybody, so that's gonna be real fun. Yep. I'm a little bit more official looking now. By like 3%. -5. Anyway, witness, state your profession. His profession is sleeping. I heard spam the chat and immediately raised my sword. No, Resi. We don't need to start raising swords. Just Nightbot. Nightbot is the only one spamming the chat every 15 minutes. Look at him just rocking back and forth. That's the word. I am the proprietor of the restaurant, the Wet Noodle at Ward Lake. Big message with first time chat. I almost took the shot. It actually said that for Nightbot? Oh, that's funny. I guess it doesn't distinguish between humans and bots. That's really funny. Congratulations, Nightbot. Welcome to the chat. You're the first time chatter in my chat. How are you doing, Nightbot? I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yep. Yep, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this old guy is. Phoenix always raise objection. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah! I have predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. Oh my gosh, I hate this smug face. Yeah, right. The witness will state his name. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Well, I'm not really sure. What do you mean? My, memory... Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. I think that calls into question his, validity as a witness. That's just me, though. I feel like this guy needs medical documents to, verify that he's competent to stand in court. Can't recall, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. Thank you, Von Karma. We all forgot that it was recent. He can testify. Medical expert Von Karma over here. And the judge is like, yeah, that checks out. Von Karma has a psychiatric degree. That checks out. He's not a prosecutor or anything. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we, witness? Well, I thought the judge was actually doing something productive. The night of the murder. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Yep. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats, as usual. Then I heard a bang. Yep. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just a-floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. Don't even. This guy is so This guy is so dumb. I'm sorry. Like, he's just... He's very blatantly wrong on 90% of the things that he claims there's no need for. It's ridiculous. There is nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Yeah, that 3 minutes was pretty presumptuous of you. Judge, your verdict, now. Yes. Mr. Wright? What? Honestly, these questions are an insult to my intelligence. I'm sorry. Like, why? Why would I not cross-examine? What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Dang! He didn't take that well. Calm down. Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma? 3 minutes just passed. Well, that's your fault for setting such a ridiculous boundary. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. Exactly. We're already past the 3 minutes. No rush now. I know. Like, I don't understand. I guess, well, the only thing I can figure is he expected the judge to just go along with him because if you remember, or if you might not have been there for that part, Von Karma, he basically controls the courtroom. He intimidates everyone into what he wants things to be. And he was honestly doing the same thing in like the first day. But the judge, thankfully, has wised up a bit. See, the judge he's okay sometimes. Yeah. And that's that, along with the fact that he has never lost a case in 40 years, which if cases only last 3 days, you can imagine how many cases he's had and won. He falsifies evidence allegedly as well. So he basically just controls the courtroom. Unrealistic in real life, honestly, but you know, that's his shtick. Von Assman, it really is. I hate him. I don't think there is a prosecutor that I'm aware of in this series that I hate more than him. I might be wrong, but he sucks. He does suck. And I'm pretty sure he comes back, too, in other games. Just after midnight, you say? Yep. Just around then. Are you sure? Pretty sure, yep. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. And there he goes. He's just decided this isn't worth his discussion anymore. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it clearly, I did. Yep. You see, continue. Is there anyone who can verify that? Well, I guess Polly could. That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright? Exactly what's not good enough? Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot? Don't be so hard on the girl, Keithy boy. Keith? He just gets cut off. The judge is very clearly confused, like, Keith? And then here comes Von Karma. The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue. That's the first rational thing that he said. And where did the bang seem to come from? Yeah, he did. He objected to the judge speaking. I don't know who he's expecting to sustain or overrule that comment, because the judge is the one he objected to. From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Yep. Good. Continue. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly. The old man looks like and acts like he does drugs. I'm pretty sure he does. Maybe that's why his memory is so bad. He had one too many drugs and it finally took its toll on him. Look, one of his eyebrows is actually higher than the other one. You see that? Giuseppe's gonna object to himself. I never noticed that, but his right, well, our right eyebrow is higher than the other one. That's drugs if I've ever seen it. Oh, there we go. Oh, now he's back to rocking again. But I figure there was 2 men out there. Yep. But you couldn't see them clearly. No, wait, no, that's a stroke sign. I mean, Salty, they're not mutually exclusive. Maybe he had a stroke while doing drugs. Hey, Magnerd! Alright. I'll stop yelling at you. Lurk harder next time, though. Hey, yep. At the time, that is. At the time? So you heard 2 gunshots total? Yep. That's what Lotta said in her testimony yesterday. By your window? Makes sense. Now the drugs are preventing the stroke from killing him. The drugs are all he's got left, Salty. Hey, yep. By my window, right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. Whenever the game does this, that's a telltale sign that that box of dialogue is what we need to focus on. Or Karma's just gonna interrupt and just delay things out. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh no, but... that's why. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. That's bad. Are you sure? Stop falling asleep. Uh-oh. Dad! Dad! Wake up! Are you sure? Dead certain, Keith! Oh, that got him up. Let's see for how long. He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by, too. I don't think you wanted him to reinforce that, Phoenix. Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him! That Edgeworth boy! Well, I guess the drugs weren't enough to halt his death, Salty. I think he's done. God rest his soul. This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. But I see no room for doubt. Von Karma. He lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall. He passed out like Carol. Yep, he passed out like Carol. Oh my gosh. Nobody in this chat probably understands that reference. That was funny. Well, and yeah, exactly. They stopped him at the door and took away his drugs. That was his final mistake. Nick! I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I better act quick, or this trial's going to be over. Therefore, we wait and see what happens. Your Honor, we just gotta grasp at something. We proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. That's right, the fingerprint discrepancy. We still haven't figured that out. That's the only thing we're riding on. That's the only thing that doesn't make sense that would keep Edgeworth from not being the killer. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand? Technically, this could be explained away. Exactly. And here we go. That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth of the matter. Everything in the witness's testimony is true. Unfortunately, realistically, I do have to agree that Von Karma's side seems more like what happened. But we know Edgeworth is innocent. We know he is. But if this were an actual court case, it would seem very open and closed. The judge is lost in thought. What should I do? We need to keep the momentum going. Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, "I can't believe he's dead." Say, save gay. Hashtag saved gay. Oh, save edgy. I thought that was I thought that looked weird. Also, hashtag saved gay. Save edgy. But his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie... Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Resi Happy Pride. I know, what are the chances? What are the chances? If that typo had to happen, what a month for it to happen on. Apparently, you have yet to realize even this basic fact. For a second, I thought you said save edging. I think we've established there's multiple ways to misread that hashtag. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. Yeah, that's all we've got. Nick, do we have evidence? We have to. It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough! The witness may leave the stand. I think he's already done that. He might be leaving to the hospital, I don't know. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. Nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? No! This court finds the defendant Miles Edgeworth. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned. I was a little nervous there. Who is this? Huh? What? Larry? I did not expect that. He said he wasn't there at the time of the murder. Did he lie? Larry gonna say the bird did it. Larry's gonna come through and accuse the bird. Whoa, that was a big shock. Wow. Listen. You gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Order. What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for an adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Dang, Larry coming through. Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, your duty is to pursue truth and justice. We have to continue. Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse. Phoenix! Things are already worse. there's nothing he can do to make it any worse. And the American way! That's right, Rezi. Truth, justice, and the American way. Mr. Edgeworth was just getting declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Slam those hands, Phoenix. Slam those hands. Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Good guy judge. That's what I'm talking about. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Oh, get ordered, Von Karma. You've never had that happen to you in your life. Now. What? That's the first I've heard of Von Aspen. I know. That's his new nickname. That's his new name. The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. So that's how you control a courtroom, Judge. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to stay in there. Pursuing truth is less than winning. Pursuing the truth is less than winning. Not as important as winning? Mary Alley, are you that competitive? Are you Von Karma? Larry was at the lake that night. Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, that's his motto, yeah. I mean, that was Edgeworth's motto not too long ago as well. So that third bang, I imagine that it had to have happened with Larry somehow. Oh, right. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night. Yeah, he did have a bad teacher. Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth? There's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Are you actually gonna tell us something now? Oh. That's right, the body fell into the lake. So never mind, I was wrong about one of my interpretations of what happened. That is even more complicated. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see. Right, so he picked it up out of shock. Yeah? This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Is Edgeworth gay? No hate, just wondering why he's on a boat with another man. Well, Salty, that is the $1 million question. That is the thing that Edgeworth has not told us, we have not been able to surmise, and nobody else has been able to figure out. Well, we allegedly know why. The way that the prosecution and the police department has spun this case is that Edgeworth met with the victim to kill them because of a grudge of the past. It's a bit complicated from there, but that's essentially how this is being spun, which makes, obviously, Edgeworth have a motive and makes him look pretty bad. Another reason why he's quiet about it, his lover just died. He's just been wrestling with his grief this whole time. He hasn't been able to talk about it. So, yeah. That's the real thing that happened. Poor Edgeworth. He's still recovering. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. If there's a ship, it's Edge X Wright. Yeah, so Salty, that is a pretty common ship, these two. I actually went into this, I think, another time. I'm not super about it, just because I don't buy into the rivalry relationship thing. I know I know a lot of people like it. I just have never really understood it, but not even gonna go down that rabbit trail again. But yeah, a lot of people love shipping these two. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, Wright. That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes! 15! Everything's on Larry now. Everything's on you, Larry. Court is now back in session. Witness? Please testify to the court about everything that you saw. We're not wasting any time with this. On the night of December 24th. Right. Leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. It has to be. We don't got anything else. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That's it? Ace Attorney Dating Simulator went, I don't know, ask Nintendo? But that's it? That was an unusually vague testimony even for this court, no kidding. Okay, let's go. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yeah, maybe, Salty, maybe they'll branch out from courtroom dramas and go into the dating simulator sphere. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. Well, there's only one way to find out. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. She's right. We don't have any cards left. This is it. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There were so many things wrong. I don't even know where to begin. Well, okay. First of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out in the... Wait a second. Okay, hold up. So this makes sense with what I was thinking. Okay. What if the murder did happen early, and it happened at around this time instead? You missed that part, Salty. Basically, I threw together my theory of what happened, and part of my theory included that the murder actually happened earlier than you're thinking it did. Yeah, yeah. That's why he didn't testify to begin with, because he wasn't there at the time frame of when we said the murder happened. But if the murder truly did happen at this time, then he was there. Wait a second. The fact that the body... I think I know what happened. The fact that the body fell in the lake makes this explainable, more explainable. That was the old man. He fell into the lake to make it seem as though he died. And then he swam to shore. And he had already committed the murder. All he had to do was put the body in the lake. And then the fact that Edgeworth picked up the gun was just strengthened his case, unfortunately. But it still doesn't... Yeah. Hey, welcome back. But we can't explain who was holding the gun in the picture. And why the old man would want to kill Edgeworth. Or why he didn't kill Edgeworth the time when he did. But that's gotta be what happened. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you on a boat at such a late hour? Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? Don't object to the judge. What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this boardie. That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense. This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12, yeah. So, he heard 2 gunshots? That first gunshot at 11 is very strange. But, like I said, I think that's when the murder actually happened. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face! I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry? Not Larry, he's still in the sundial era. Oh, maybe I put that detail in. I think I put that detail in. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. Yeah, I think I put that detail in, Rezzy. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa, whoa! Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Oh, okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case. So you only heard one bang, correct? That is definitely a contradiction. If he was there on the lake at that point, he should have heard too. Well, Nick, it was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should start working on the contradictions. This game keeps getting more complicated. How hard is it to solve a murder? Clearly harder than you think. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. So we have someone saying 1 shot, someone saying 2, and yet the gun was fired 3 times. Let's confirm that. Yeah. That just makes this even more confusing. And no one, not a single person has acknowledged that this is a contradiction. At any point, has nobody said, wait a second, the gun has been fired 3 times. Alright. But I think this is where we do it. After I heard that single gunshot, I went home. We're missing 2 gunshots in this testimony, and that's clearly a problem. Are you serious? You're telling me that the fact that the gun says it was fired 3 times and he's heard a single shot is not a contradiction? That's what you're telling me. I'm gonna penalize you for being so dumb. No, because we have evidence when those shots... The evidence when those shots happened. We do? When the bird took off first shot, second shot when it was landing, and the guy's third shot was the next takeoff. Salty is just dead set on convicting this bird. Here's the bird in question, Salty. There's your murderer. Failed reading comprehension again. This. I guess this is what we want. Wait a sec. So I know where this third shot came from. I've been thinking that these 3 shots happened on the same night, but they didn't. This is the same gun that was used by Yogi to kill Edgeworth's father. That's where this first shot came from. The other 2 shots happened the same night. That's gotta be what happened. That's where this third shot came from. This is the same gun for both murders. Alright, so is this what it wants? I'm gonna do this just in case, but I'm pretty sure this is what we want. Yeah, I know. But for the same reason this game kind of doesn't make sense in other ways. We're gonna try to go with this because clearly... And this says just after midnight. So what did he say? Oops. Like, in one night, you can make a guess based on rounds left in the mag. Sheesh. Yeah, who knows? This is like one of my problems I've had with this game. It likes to take logical liberties to make some of these things work. I'm gonna say it's this. It is. So I was right about the shot difference. I just presented the wrong thing. But I knew that was the issue I was looking for. Wait a second, Larry. What? You only heard one bang? You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention to all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please! Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. One of them was the tank. One of them was the tank he lost? Yeah. But that happened the night before, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I think maybe I'm misremembering. We don't have that tank anymore to cross-reference that, but I'm pretty sure that happened before the night of the murder, which is why I dismissed it. This is the bang that happened on the day that it happened. I'm pretty sure that's what we established. That this is the tank which happened alongside of the bang. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? That's not how it works. Mr. Butts? What? You only heard one gunshot. Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude, with my headphones. Oh, Larry. What? Order! Order! And stop that booing! Stop that booing! Mr. Butts? You are listening to the radio with your headphones? That's an important detail, man. Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. He's been awfully quiet this whole time. He's not raised a single objection. Has anybody else noticed that? I actually kind of forgot he was there. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Yeah, honestly, he's kind of making this look really bad for his reliability. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? We gotta continue. Imagine how he could shred them all to pieces. Yeah, he's imagining that. I'm gonna save because I don't know about this one. Let's try. Edgeworth said earlier Von Karma has only had perfectly planned trials. This one going off plan means he actually has to think on his feet for once. It would make sense he was stewing for a while. Stewing in anger. Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah. Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio. Right. Leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this. Believe me. Alright, so... It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud, like... But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. Are you not gonna tell us? The story of Butts needs to get his testimony straight. Whatever. I can't be both of them. Yeah, what's the big problem? He's really feels like people are attacking him and his music. Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Objection! Slam your hands, Phoenix. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? Judge, you had DJs back when you were growing up. That's not a new thing. Where did this guy grow up? Freaking... I don't even know. I don't know who doesn't have a DJ. What country doesn't have a DJ? I don't know how widespread DJs are. I'm not even going to begin to go down that route. But wherever there aren't DJs, I guess that's where this judge grew up. An announcer. The guy who says things on the radio. DJs really blew up as early as the 50s. He has to know about them. They're pretty worldly. Yeah. I'm thinking of some countries I couldn't imagine there being a DJ, but I'm pretty sure that Judge did not come from those countries. Or at least where they wouldn't be as widespread. I'm dead sure this judge knows what a DJ is. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. But very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. This is what you do on a daily basis, though, Phoenix. This is your thing. You drag things out until you have something to grab onto. So you turned on the radio? Right. Fucking Larry. Hey, Mosho! So he means radio host. Daily basis, this is third case in 4 months. I mean, it's daily for the time that we're with him. How are you doing, Mosho? Glad you can be here. Oh, I have an idea of how the murder played out, Mosho. I'm going to give you the quick rundown. Oh no! Nightbot, no! Don't be mean to Pedro! Oh no, I'm sorry, Pedro. Nightbot doesn't know what he's doing. Nightbot is ruthless. Dumb bot. Oh no, it's out of control. All right, you guys are just picking on him now. Don't pick on him. He's special. He doesn't know better. I guess Destoria is not guilty at all. I did see your message, Mosho. All right, I don't know if it shows you guys the message. Pedro said guilty. Destoria is guilty. All right, actually, Nightbot, you did a good job blocking that one. And Mosho said, stop spamming caps in all caps. Hey, yes. Yeah, I don't really know what it's gonna allow and what it's not gonna allow. Probably... Well... Pedro, you have been timed out for 600 seconds. I don't know how to fix that. So if anybody else does, Pedro, you did this to yourself. No, Pedro. How do I fix this? I'll help you after stream. Okay, okay. Yay! Who untimed out Pedro? I spawned the lol emote. Nightbot doesn't take too kindly to that, Pedro. I apologize in a... Oh my gosh. Well, I'll get Rex crop. Thank you, Rezi. I knew I made you a mod for some reason. Bad bot. Rezi versus Nightbot, go! Stop picking on Nightbot. He's trying his best. He's just not very good at it. Sorry to bring chaos. No, that was... You're good. That actually was kind of funny. Really house, all caps warning. I don't know, Salty. And I didn't really do much setting up aside from having it do that message about promoting the Discord. So, I will probably look into that if I can. You're fine, you're talking to an unhinged person. Just needs to hit it with the wrench for a bit. Yeah, I just need to whip out my wrench and beat up Nightbot a little bit. That's what Rezi means. You might have thought I meant like working on it, or Rezi meant like working on it, like adjusting a few bolts. No, I'm actually going to start hitting it. Nightbot communicates through violence. What is that emote, Pedro? Oh, okay, so no, we're on the same... Okay, never mind. Me and Rezi are on the same page, actually. But hey, hello, Distoria, how are you doing? I'm good! I'm doing good. This has been a very interesting case. I don't entirely know what has happened, in the murder, and I feel like there's a lot of pieces that I don't have, which is really good because it's keeping me interested and engaged on trying to figure out what exactly is going on. But yeah, it's good to have you here. Mosho. Anyway, real quick, I think I know what happened. I don't really want to explain it again because we've already been on the screen for... Actually, you know what? No, let me see if I can go through it really quick. Yeah, we have nothing but theories at this point. It's wild. So, what I think happened, as long as everybody's cool with me going through this little spiel again. What I think happened... The parrot did it. The parrot did not do it. The murder happened before we were thinking it happened. Let me actually get my evidence here. So, this is the murderer. This is the murderer. This is the same guy that killed Edgeworth's dad in the past. Okay? This is Yogi. That's why he doesn't have a name. He can't remember his name. He has memory problems. Just like the Yogi of the past. The guy's name is actually Yogi. I'm not just calling him Yogi. We still have this metal detector. That's kind of funny. This pistol was shot once on the day that Edgeworth's dad was killed. The other two shots occurred on the night of the murder of the victim. Now, what I'm thinking happened is the murder happened before we're thinking it did. And like I said, he's the one that did it. I think he killed the victim, mistaking the victim for being Edgeworth, who he actually wanted to kill. I don't have a reason for why he wanted to kill Edgeworth, but I think that's what happened. Then he hid the body. He got on the boat with Edgeworth, faked his own death, fell out of the boat, and swam to shore. Okay? And then he dumped the body in the lake. And then it was discovered. We already know that Edgeworth accidentally picked up the pistol with his right hand. Edgeworth admitted to that in shock. That's what I'm thinking happened. Now, the only two things that I haven't worked out is, first of all, what motive would Yogi have to kill Edgeworth? Yes. And I think he was on the boat either to kill Edgeworth and failed, or to frame Edgeworth for the murder, because he needed a scapegoat. But his intention was to kill Edgeworth. Maybe he failed at killing Edgeworth for some reason, and then he had to fall back on a plan B to frame Edgeworth. That's my best interpretation that I've got. Now, I still can't explain this. I know, it is. Unless he's faking his memory problems. And he is competent. He could be just pulling a 4D chess move on us. But that's, like I said, it has some issues. But I think that's closer to the truth. I don't know who each of these people are. Wait a second. What if the one on the right? What if the reason that there were 2 gunshots? What if the one on the right is Yogi shooting at Edgeworth, and Edgeworth didn't realize he was being shot at? Maybe he did try. Maybe he thought he killed Edgeworth, and he escaped from the boat thinking that he shot him. Is he also wearing gloves? Well, Pedro, I'm thinking his intention was to kill Edgeworth at the get-go, but he accidentally killed the victim. Edgeworth would have to be the one to go into the water. No, what I'm saying is Yogi shot... He thought that he shot Edgeworth and killed him. But he missed. And then he escaped the scene of the crime thinking that he succeeded. Or some other reason caused him to fall out of the boat. Maybe he tripped. I don't know. But then to cover for his mistake and his failed assassination attempt, he dumped the body there and blamed Edgeworth. That's what I'm thinking that happened. So he thinks he killed Edgeworth, but just to be sure... Well, he thought he killed Edgeworth, but he realized he didn't. Maybe someone pushed him out of the boat. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure about the point where he realized that that Edgeworth was alive. But I think we're getting really close. Really, really, really close to what actually happened. You look at the texture of his hand, it looks different, like he is wearing a glove. Why would he frame Edgeworth if he thought he killed him? Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he didn't mean to fall out of the boat. Like I said, maybe he tripped. Maybe he shot, realized he missed, and tripped. But obviously, he couldn't get back in the boat. I don't know. I'm missing something important here. And I think it's not unreasonable that something could have happened that he would know that Edgeworth is alive and not be able to get back on the boat. Yeah, he did. This was the second shot that we heard. The first shot was him actually committing the murder. The second shot was at Edgeworth, but he missed Edgeworth. Edgeworth said he was confused as to where the gunshot came from. I said that the shot happened and then the figure who got shot dropped. Or am I misremembering? I'm not sure. I don't remember that detail. It's possible. This was the first shot that happened right here. This is when the first murder happened, which was 25 minutes. 25 minutes from this shot, which is plenty of time for someone to commit a murder and clean up a little bit. That's a big gap of time. This is the murder. Yeah. Now, we don't know where I don't know where the murder took place. I don't think it was on the lake. But that's what I've got. Alright, so I think that pretty much covers all that. So let's just keep going. Whenever I have another epiphany, I'll make sure to share it. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like out there alone on Christmas Eve. Alone! I shouldn't have said anything. Do you by chance remember the name of the program you were listening to? That has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set to that night? Real booming loud? Yeah, you know. And you had headphones on? Yup. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. Can you prove that? No. No, of course you can't. Nah, I can't prove it. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? This is the big thing we want to know. What did she say? Don't object! I want to know what this is! Mr. Wright? Please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said do us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask? Truer words have never been said, Phoenix. How do you know if we don't ask? Fine, he just takes it. He just accepts that. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Freaking Larry. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. Yep. 1150 lines up. And wait a second, he also said he didn't see a boat at that time. That adds more evidence to what I said. And also, this picture. The camera itself didn't see a lake or a boat either. Yeah. That's absolutely when the murder happened. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. There is one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Alright, let's get back to that. Alright. Don't call his name. So now the question is, what are we presenting? Like, clearly we're able to verbalize Luddy. We're able to verbalize what the problem is. I heard two sounds like gunshots after. Are we doing this one? It's gotta be, because this is a contradiction. Just after midnight. Yeah, that's it. I need to watch ads more often. Who? Mosho? Is Mosho the person whose name we're not supposed to say? Is your name Mosho we're not supposed to say anymore? Alright, so that's a contradiction to this. Yes! Hi, Resi. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Did you hear what the witness just said? Hi, Mosho. The name that shall not be stated. The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. This meme. This is a meme. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Mosho knows. Almost Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. That contradicts the two testimonies we have heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order! Order! What does this mean? The 2 prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. I know, it is a minor contradiction. To Santa or not to Santa? That is the question. Is it Santa time or not Santa time? That is the question. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. Oh my gosh. Nightbot, no! A little bit, no! That was fast! Oh my gosh! Nightbot shut down a little bit immediately! Nightbot, stop! You're being bad! Nightbot hits on a hair trigger. Make him stop! He's already dead! Oh my gosh, Nightbot. He does not take any shit. He takes none. Dang. Sorry a little bit. You're not the first victim. He's also gotten Pedro. He's gotten Mosho. I finally get to rest, and this is how I'm treated. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to... Mosho? Mosho? I think I already said Salty. I haven't been able to whip him into shape yet. I see what you're up to, Mosho. You can't hide from me. Yeah, thank you, Rezi. Rezi has been the equalizer to Nightbot's chaos that he's inflicted on our chat room tonight. Mosho is starting a game. I saw it too! What? Well, Mr. Wright? I don't have the authority to stop Nightbot, but I can at least fix its mistakes. Larry's right. We have photo proof that Larry is right. Well, how are you doing, Lil Bit? Sorry about the bumpy welcome to my chat tonight. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. Here's your evidence, Von Karma. Day 1 raid and Destiny's Day. Spades wanted to participate. I had a ton of cleaning to do and taking care of the kids by myself. It's been a lot legit. Didn't have a break today until just now. I just got Leon down for the night. Then Nightbot had to go and try to rip me another booty hole. Sorry. I will scold him later. I'll put him in timeout later. Don't worry a little bit. I'll take care of it. I'm glad you could make it to the stream, though. I'm sorry your day was so hectic and crazy. I'm glad you got a little bit of downtime. No, it's okay. I do think I'm on the right track to solving this case, though. I've got it almost all worked out. I want to see how much of it I'm right about. Look. There it is! Look at this photograph! Phoenix Wright has said this 3 times. This has gotta be on purpose. The creators of Phoenix Wright were actually fans of Nickelback. It's confirmed. It's okay a little bit. I also got shot by an iPod. Pedro was unfortunately our first casualty to the terrors of Nightbot's rulership. Pedro experienced it firsthand. I know, it's genius. They use a generic photograph so they can just reuse the scene entirely. Yeah. Saying it as a criminal. What you get put in the slammer for. Spamming caps, which is the most heinous of crimes for Nightbot. The most heinous offense. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Yeah, I told you. Uh-oh. A little bit. Don't antagonize him. He's already in a bad mood. My brother in jail. Stop provoking its wrath a little bit. You have to get... Rezzy's running out of bail money. Rezzy can only do this for so long. Beep boop, stop spamming caps. I wish I could unban from my end. Or can I? Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can. I think Rezzy's already done it, though. Now, the real question is... I got experiment now. Okay, so it has enough sense to not ban the person streaming. That's good. It just bans me. It just like kicks me out of my own chat, stops the stream, everything ends. Stream's over, I banned the streamer. Night. Pedro. Nightbot doesn't care what the channel owner and their mods say to do. Yep. I gotta fix that. Alright. You guys stop antagonizing him. He's too dumb to know better. But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Exactly, Judge. Now you're seeing. You're seeing what I've been saying. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. It's dawning on the judge now. Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. I will fight for all those who have been denied a voice by our automated oppressor. Rezzy fights for liberty and justice. Rezzy, you're so valiant, Rezzy. In the face of all odds. You stand for the people, Rezzy. But the American way can suck it. That's the spirit. I like where your heart's at, Rizzy. I like where your heart's at. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them. Why would this be? Don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond to loud noises. Yes? There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera. Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear. Oh, it's gonna penalize me if I get this wrong. Well, Mr. Wright? There's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Please show the court evidence if you have any. Well, we obviously have to. Thanks for the lurk, Pedro! Yeah, it was. That might be what we end up presenting if I can't find anything else. Sometime on 21st shot from approximately 1 meter away. Well, this says Lada testified that she heard 2 sounds like gunshots. But we're not... Let's go with the gun. Let's go with the gun. This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was that last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Wait a second. I just realized something. Yeah, all shots happened that night, and I think I know. It makes sense. It makes sense now. Okay. We had 3 shots. The first one is the one that Larry heard. The other 2 are the ones that the other 2 witnesses heard. Now, there's an immediate problem with this as it stands. Why did the camera not pick up that shot? And that's because the murder did not happen in the direction, or this shot did not happen in the direction of where the camera was facing. Which means, if it was pointed this way, the murder did not happen here. Or the shot did not. I'm convinced that's when the murder happened. But that first shot did not happen here, which is why we don't have a picture. So that shot originated from somewhere else. I noticed this earlier, and I was thinking, maybe this is just for flair, just to add like something else to the map, but what if this is where the murder happened? It couldn't have happened here. Lotta was there. Larry was here. Larry was here. I think we're left with it either being here or here. The first shot is one of the two. You're right. Sorry, Rezi. You're right. I'm thinking about this too much. It sounded good. It sounded good in my head. So then I'm thinking about the shot that we don't have. That's my mistake. The shot that we don't have a picture of. That's the one. But then that would mean the murder happened with that one. I don't know. I thought I was onto something. You're right, Rezi. There's just so I'm like doing so much theory crafting in my head. I think we only have 2 pictures because the camera only took 1 picture for both sounds. Remember, Lotta said it burned through a whole reel every time it triggered. Could be if those shots happened in quick succession. Possibly, yeah. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. Well, that we've already established that. One at 11:50, another 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you? Why? I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? What's wrong, Nick? I have it. I have it. Huh? Remember the case with the steel samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm gonna run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. So he's catching on that the murder didn't occur at that time. I know. Maya and her faces. I mean, just the faces in this game are just so animated and great. Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So, you finally realized the truth? There can be no other murderer than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. The double head waggle. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on the boat. I admit it's hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes. But this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 0015. But Larry heard that gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. Wait, were the second 2 shots blanks? They only found 1 bullet, yeah. But I still think most of what I said and have kind of tacked onto is right. That Edgeworth was almost killed, and that one on the right is Yogi. I still stand by that because I don't see anything else making sense, at least pertaining to that. Especially now, because we're alleging that the victim was not even alive at this point. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of them we can run down. If we're saying that Robert wasn't even alive at the point that that photo was taken, that can't be the victim. Which means, you know, obviously one of them's Edgeworth. Now we're down to figuring out who that other person is, which I believe is Yogi. Trying to kill Edgeworth. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the 2 men in the boat are. Edgeworth and the murderer. This is exactly where we're at. I'm sure of it. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. Maybe he didn't care that he killed Hammond. Maybe Hammond was always just the means to kill Edgeworth by tricking him. That would, you know, I mean, it's not unusual for someone to just not care about who they kill if they want to kill someone so badly. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Wright. It's... Phoenix doesn't know, but I'm sure I know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time. Wouldn't remember the face of the guy who got his dad's killer off. Yeah, sure, game. Well, that's what I'm saying. He could be playing the long game here. Freaking Nightbot. Mosho! Kapow! Kapow! Well, anyway, like I was saying, we don't necessarily know that he has memory problems. He's just claiming to have memory problems, to our knowledge. We don't have any documents saying that he does, or anything. And you can't put two emojis together. Yeah, we gotta fix this after this stream, for real. Honestly, it works in his favor to claim memory problems in this case. Anything to keep him from being a suspect and or testifying in court probably works to his favor. I don't know because he never told us. Oh, Phoenix does know. That was only 2 emotes. You bot fascist. Yeah, be careful by saying fascist. There's no telling what the bot will do. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop. That old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? That's why I said it in French. Good thinking, Rezi. I thought you just misspelled it. I didn't recognize that was French. Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Exactly, Judge. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of the crime was not on a boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? Okay. So this is... It was. Especially if you scream it really loud. I would say the only other good option would be German. So... This is where it's either here or here. Now, clearly, either of these two places, the camera picked up the shot. So, I don't think that it really matters that it's indirect. Either of these are indirect of the shot, because there's really nowhere else it could be. It wasn't on the lake. We've already ruled that out. Take that! Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he could meet the victim without anyone seeing. Objection. I don't have proof. I've just worked it down to 2 places. Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Okay, so he does. If only I could have referenced anything. Yep. I mean, we were under the impression it was very directional audio, though. But like, if that's clearly not the case, that is closer to the camera to have picked up the shot. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns to the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. I mean, yeah, but we never established at what point where he was when he heard the gunshot. It is directional. I'll have a gunshot. It's so loud it would have carried over the lake anyway. Gotcha. I think they should have stated where Larry was before making us draw this conclusion, because I don't think he said where he was when he heard the gunshot. I might be wrong, correct me if I am, but the game did not clarify that. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. I mean, we did establish no music was playing, and it was in a lull of the music, which is the whole reason why the judge didn't dismiss the testimony. The closest I can think of is that he said he was heading for home, so he'd be likely near the boathouse. True, but that doesn't put him at the boathouse, and I think that's an oversight of the game. That's why we're having so much trouble, I think, because neither one of us really tipped onto that, you know. We worked out everything else, but we couldn't point to that piece of information because it was never clarified. So I think that's a short step of the game, because we were basically down to those two places. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? Yeah. I mean, I think you're right, and that's clearly where Phoenix is going with this, and that's where they were intended the player to think, but I don't think it was obvious or able to be surmised very easily. I wasn't too on board with your Northwest. Yeah, it's just I got so hung up on that being just randomly over there, and then I started thinking about the last case, how they had like a loop around, and you know, and that is kind of like a thing that they would pull. It's like, oh, here's this thing over here that nobody's looked at. This is actually important. So I was just trying to like think about like how the game was like gaming the situation, so to speak, and trying to be all snarky and like plot twisty and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the boathouse seems like it was where to go. The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Well, I don't know why you're asking me. I'm just as curious as you are. Please tell the court from the beginning. Why am I telling the court? Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. He then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. So far, I'm right in my prediction, well, my interpretation of events, how I understood it. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? The boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. On purpose? Interesting. I am curious about that. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Well, to frame him, but we don't know why he would kill Hammond, though. Details, details. Well, with the information we knew, Resi, but we don't... The whole thing is we don't know all the details. And Edgeworth wasn't really being forthright with the details of what happened on the boat. There could have been something that happened that caused him to miss. So I don't think we could have necessarily ruled that out at that point. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. To create a witness. If there's only two options, it has to be this one. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself. Why is this image reversed then? If the picture had the murderer on the right, why is he on the left? Yeah, this image is deliberately misleading. Leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Yeah, Edgeworth picks up the pistol in shot. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. Not really, because like Resi said, and I caught on to, the image is deliberately misleading. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Okay, I was right about this. I was right about everything except the accidental nature of the shots. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body. Okay. And threw the body into the lake. Yeah. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. So if all that's true, the only things that I was wrong about was that Mr. Hammond's death was accidental, which it wasn't. The shots were accidental. And, well, this thing I wasn't wrong about, but it's not really established why he did this. That's the one thing we now have to answer. What pisses me off about this case is that Edgeworth tells you nothing. I know, I don't understand why he doesn't tell you anything. So we have means and opportunity. What's the motive? Yeah, that's the one thing we have to figure out, Resi. What's the motive? That's the one problem I was having with my story. Exactly. Why is he silent? Which I assume the game will give us an answer why, but Mosho doesn't seem to have liked the answer given. We're definitely going to find out why, but look at all those caps. Nightbot, where you at? Jealous. A little bit's like, if only I could spam caps like Resi. I'd say I did pretty good at piecing this together. I mean, I was wrong about this little spit of land having any significance. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. But so far, it doesn't seem like it. All right. So let's actually figure out what's happening. Everybody's quiet. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. Ooh, the judge is convinced something fishy's going on. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Dang. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Oh, he's probably long gone, buddy. You might be right, Resi. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said? Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said is mostly correct. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing people he didn't exist. Yep. I think that's a strong statement. I'm back. What did I miss? I don't know how long you were gone, but I was right on everything but technically 3 things. Now we just have to figure out the motive, which nobody seems to know. Are the birds still alive? Are you still alive? Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry. I can't say what it was. Yes, the birds are still alive, still so scary, especially the 2 babies. They get cold so easily. Your Honor, sir! Oh, Resi, I think you're right. Bailiff, we're conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. Knit them a little sweater. What? What should I do? Find him quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. Ooh, this is getting crazy. Like he's just gonna blame Von Karma. Now, there's a lot of stuff you can blame him for, but this probably isn't one of them. If he's clever enough to pull the senile old man routine, he knows what he needs when he needs to bolt. Yep. He's not senile. He's not senile like he's making everybody believe. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. And he's like, and that's my problem, how? A search warrant has already been issued. It Goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. You're right, I didn't catch it, but yeah, a search warrant. We're gonna treat this man like property. We're gonna search him with our search warrant. The judge doesn't even have that right. He doesn't. Yeah, I totally missed that. I was so engrossed in what was happening. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. Alright. Well, we're not wrapping this up just yet. Dang. So all that's left is establishing the motive. That raised eyebrow was him just being cocky. He was pulling off his drunk act. The safe in the boathouse has to be important. Yep. That is going to... I think that's going to have the thing that's going to crack this wide open. What remains is discovering the details of DL6, how it pertains to this case, and the motive for the murder. That's it. That's where we're at. Yay, Nick! You did it! Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure. Once I sifted through his unique testimony. It just reminds me of Nancy Drew in the Blackmore Manor. You getting Nancy Drew vibes, Mariawi? Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I'm sorry to break this to you, Phoenix, but you're near the end of your video game, so it's gonna be hard. It doesn't get easier. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. I actually imagine that kind of sentiment is really common being a lawyer or a prosecutor. You're pretty much, I won't say you're just as much on trial as your client, but you feel a lot of the pressure that your client feels. You could try to smile just a little, relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you, but to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime that he committed? Oh my gosh, Resi. No! None of that! A memory of a murder. What the frick, Edgeworth? What are you doing? Of course. Oh my gosh. Dun dun dun! Did he kill his dad?